Hello all, welcome to the lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss some of the important social issues that are there in news for a long period of time. Let us consider what was the news, what are the issues associated with these particular issues. So let us start with our lecture. So firstly, we are going to talk about the caste census. So recently, the central government filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court. It claimed that a caste census of the backward classes, that is OBCs, is very quite difficult and cumbersome in nature. And this response of government was in response to the writ petition that was filed by the state of Maharashtra that it's time to gather backward classes caste data in the state while conducting the census of 2021. But the center has raised the administrative difficulty associated with this. So now planning and preparation of the census exercise, it all started almost 4 years earlier, and it was decided that the preparations are done. But now when center claim that the caste census of the backward classes is difficult, it gathered a lot of backlash from other people. So what is the government stance against the caste census? So government says that this is not an ideal policy tool. That the center explained that a population census was not the ideal instrument, as many people, they do not register themselves in the census when they are hiding their caste. So basically it is going to compromise the integrity of the census. Other stand that government has taken is that it's about the unusable data. The center has given the reason that even the census of caste were taken in the pre-independence period, but that there was a lack of accuracy and completeness in this census. So in this, it is said that the caste data enumerated also in the socio-economic and caste census that we call as SECC of 2011, it is completely unusable. So what is the use of putting in so much of time and money in gathering such kind of data? Now there are some favor arguments in favor of SEC also, that it is, though you are saying that the data is not usable, but this data is usable in establishing a statistical justification for preserving the caste-based affirmative action program, that is for the welfare scheme. So it may also be legal imperative. So comprehensive, it is a comprehensive exercise also to basically enumerate the caste status of all households in the country, which will help to identify the poor households and the people who are living below the poverty line. So when we are considering this topic, the thing is that we should know that there is a difference between a census and SECC. So when was SECC came and when did census came? So the census goes back to the year 1881 and SECC was first time conducted in 1931. Aim of SECC is to basically to canvass every Indian family, that is family whether living in rural area or your urban India, and it looks after their economic status, like how they are living, and allows the state, central and state authorities so that they can come up with a range of indicators for the deprivation class. The census, on the other hand, is basically it goes back to the time period of 1881 when the colonial masters conducted it for the first time. Now, with this conflict, the thing is that what should be the solution? So we know that center has come out with this own concerns, but although SECC has its own concerns, linking and syncing aggregated census data to other large data sets such as a national sample survey is going to help government to realize many of its socio-economic goals. So government should think that whether not conducting this particular census is the right approach or not. So caste census may not sit well with the goal of casteless society, but lot of inequalities, lot of inequities that are present in the society can be addressed with the help of this census. Now we are going to discuss about Ujjwala gas connection scheme. The second phase of the scheme has started. and this is also known as Pradhanmantri Ujjwala Yojana. So Pradhanmantri Ujjwala Yojana was launched in year 2016. So what was the basic purpose of this scheme was that to provide LPG. LPG stands for your liquefied petroleum natural gas connections to every household, and a deposit-free LPG connection will be given to eligible household with a financial assistance of rupees 1600 per connection by the center. So a lot of appreciation this scheme has received worldwide, and under Ujjwala 2, migrant workers now they no longer have to struggle basically for to get their address proof document so that they can get the gas connection now. And also one thing is that they would only be required to submit a self declaration of their residential address. That is, now only a self declaration is required to basically get the gas connection. So what are the objectives of this scheme? So Ujjwala scheme, the basic aim is to reduce the number of deaths in India because of the unclean cooking fuel, and also to empower women. That is the basic idea, empowering women, because women are the most affected. So empowering women and protecting their health. Also, it aims to reduce the serious health hazards associated with cooking based on fossil fuel. Now, what is the eligibility criteria for this scheme is that any woman who is the age of 18 and a citizen of India, above the age of 18 and citizen of India, can apply for this scheme. But the condition is that the applicant should belong to the BPL household, that is below poverty line household. And no one in the applicant's household should own an LPG connection. And if I talk about there is a certain limit that is defined by the government for the household income of the family, and if these criteria are met, then the person, the said woman, is eligible for the Ujjwala scheme. Another very significant project that was in news was the Kerala Smart Kitchen project. This project was announced by the Kerala government with the aim that they are going to now modernize kitchens and ease the difficulty that is faced by home bakers and household hosts. So what is the thing about this scheme? So this scheme will be implemented through the Kerala State Financial Enterprises, that is your KSFE, a state-run chit fund, and it is a lending firm. So under this scheme, this KSFE is going to give soft loans to women from all walks of life so that they can purchase household gadgets or equipment. So why this was the need for implementing such a scheme, Kerala Smart Kitchen project? The aim is to increase the women participation. Such kind of, because women are the ones who are involved in the kitchen, and by enhancing this mechanization in kitchens, women's participation in labor could be increased. So it is also a form of a gender budgeting that has been done, that a better participation of women in labor is required, and with the mechanization in the kitchen, a lot of change can come up when the burden of the household chores will be reduced. Now we are going to study about Global Food Security Index. Global Food Security Index, it is actually designed and constructed by the London-based economist Impact, and it is sponsored by Corteva Agriscience. Talking about the Global Food Security Index of 2021 and why it became a news. So basically, India's rank in this particular one is 70 at the 71st position out of the 113 nations, whereas countries like Pakistan, they have scored better than India in the category of food affordability. And also Sri Lanka, it scored better at a point of 62.9 points in the Global Food Security Index. So it sparked a lot of questions that how does this happen? Now, talking about this particular index, it is an annually published index, and this was the 10th edition of the index. So it measures the the underlying drivers of food security in the 113 countries based on certain factors. What are those factors? Such as your affordability, availability, quality, safety, natural resources, and resilience. So agriculture resilience, if I talk about the 2021 index, it shows that the threats from the climate change and due to the declining natural resources, they are going to pose a severe threat to the future prosperity. So there is a need to ensure a long-term commitment. Yes, a long term of commitment for sustainability, and that is going to ensure that the farmers will be well equipped with the solution, and so that the production of the food is not hampered. Also, the 2021 GFSI shows that farmers are facing certain threats that is going to be more severe for their livelihood than ever before. And also, why this index is important? Because it highlighted the importance of connecting the farmers to information and markets, because they need to be integrated to the market system. Another important news was Sanchiraya. So Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, it launched a brand and a logo called Sanchiraya. So what it is? So it is launched to market the product of your urban self-help groups. So this brand and this logo was launched in line with the government's priority area to help women so that they can become financially independent, to empower movement so that they can live a dignified life. So what is the significance of this Sanchiraya? So this initiative, it is considered to be a significant step to increase the global access for the products that are made by the urban self-help group women. And under this particular initiative, varieties of professionally packaged and handcrafted ethnic products, they are going to reach to the customers that are worldwide. So basically, a lot of things are associated with it. Empowering women, making women more financially independent. Such kind of schemes, such kind of programs, these are what? These are basically an initiatives in the country to help women prosper. Now let us talk about the Saath Initiative. The Saath Initiative launched for self-help groups. So Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, he launched the Rural Enterprise Acceleration Program. This program is known as your Saath Program for Self-Help Group Women on September 2021. So with this Saath Initiative, the aim is that this Saath Initiative is going to help around 48,000 self-help groups, in which about 4 lakh women are connected in Jammu and Kashmir. A very, very big scheme for Jammu and Kashmir. This initiative is going to focus more on the market linkages of products and which are going to be created by these women. And also with this Saath initiative, government is aiming to create around 11,000 more self-help groups in the upcoming years. So what are the basic aim of this initiative? So this initiative was launched with the aim of transforming the rural women's life, all those women who are associated with the self-help groups. So accelerating the livelihood of rural women who are engaged in small works. And what is the meaning of small works? When I want to define the small works, so small works are basically those where they do not earn much profit and they don't have that much knowledge and requisite skill, right? That how the things are done, branding, marketing and packaging. So this initiative is aimed at teaching women this requisite skill and to help them convert their small business into higher order enterprises. So making basic aim is that the woman is going to turn into a job giver rather than just a job taker, and going to produce further employment. We are already discussing a lot about like employment issues. So this is an initiative that is going to help generating the income of the women. Next is the Pradhanmantri Dakshata or Kaushalta Samagan Hitradi portal, that is PMDaksh scheme. So what is this PMDaksh scheme? The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has launched recently PMDaksh. PMDaksh is a mobile app to make the skill development schemes that are there available to the OBCs, the scheduled caste and the Safai Karamcharis. So this PMDakshojna, was implemented from the year 2020 and 21. So under this particular scheme, the eligible target groups, there is a certain eligible target groups, they are going to be provided with skill development training programs. So their skill development is going to happen. Short-term training programs will be there, long-term training programs will be there, and these training programs will be implemented to the government training institutes, which will be constituted by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and other credible institutions. So what is the eligibility for this particular scheme? That all the marginalized person belonging to the SC caste, OBC, economically backward classes, denotified tribes and sanitation workers, which will include your manual scavengers and transgenders also, they can be part of this particular scheme. And talking about the implementation, this will be implemented by 3 corporations. What are these 3 corporations? Under the ministry, National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation, National Backward Finance and Development Corporation, and your National Safai Karamchari Finance and Development Corporation. What is the significance of this scheme? So women, due to their overall domestic compulsions, they are not able to be involved in the wage employment, where there is a lot of long working hours, and sometimes when they have to migrate to other cities. So there is a need to empower the women among the targeted group, and this aims to help these women out. And most of the person who are of the targeted group, they are minimal economic assets. So when they will be provided this short-term and long-term training that we were talking about, it is going to help them with the economic empowerment and upliftment of these marginalized sections. So thank you. With this, we end the lecture here.